What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So, talk about the Jaron Boots Enis versus, I'm just going to say Karen or Karen have. I'm just going to say Karen. Okay, y'all know who I'm talking about. It's the guy that he just fought last night. It's like 2:23 right now. Okay, Sunday morning. So, let me say, because this is something that's so popular and it just happens. Jaron Boots Ennis is a guy who wants his shot now, and he's ready, and he's calling out Crawford, he's calling out Spence. We're in a time where it's very difficult to get the fights that we really want to see. But then when you have fighters that's making a mark that want these fights, the same people crying and complaining are, oh, this person's not ready, yeah, yeah, yeah. So he goes 12 rounds with this guy. He dominated the fight. But because he didn't get the guy out of here, his first time he went 12 rounds, this is what you're going to get. Oh, Boots was exposed. Okay, uh, Boots, Boots is not ready for Crawford or Spence. Imagine if Crawford went 12 rounds with this guy, 10 rounds with this guy, whatever. Imagine if Spence went. Okay, so before I go any further, let me respond to something because I have no idea what this person is talking about. So on the video that I did that's labeled Spence versus Crawford is a no-go. So why not fight Jaron Boots Ennis? He is more deserving than David Avanesian. And I meant everything that I said. Okay, now, so in the comment section, a guy goes by the name of Jerry Soriano, your lender for life. His comment to me was, your takes are a little unbalanced, my friend. Kell Brook fight was Spence's first title fight. So after that fight, he got exposed. And what did Spence say when asked if he would fight Crawford? Get a belt. Who has he fought? Wrong side of the street. I will take the easier road. Basically, everything Thurman did to him. Lastly, why hasn't anyone sent a petition to fight Crawford? Spence 3, Crawford 0. Okay, I guess he's making a comparison to the two of them. After tonight, still feel confident about Boots? Yeah, absolutely. Send in a WBO petition. Let's get that fight on the books. Crawford versus Boots in March. Let's walk the walk. Okay, first off, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about because you don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, first of all, if you've been watching my channel, you would know that, yes, whoever Spence fights, I'm rocking with Spence, even against Boots Ennis, right? And I've made several videos where I have stated exactly what you said as far as, yeah, the red hoodie video. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Where, yeah, he told, Terrence Crawford, go get a belt and then we'll fight. He went and got a belt. They're face to face. Yes, when Spence has on the red hoodie. And he says, why not, take the easy route and fight Sean Porter? How many countless times have I had to bring that up in videos because of things that people say? So I have no idea why you even bring that up or what the hell you're talking about or what this video even has to do with you even saying that. If you listen to what I'm saying, I don't know if you're drunk or if you just misunderstand what I said. Okay, but what I'm saying in this video, plain and simple, Errol Spence was that guy at one point where no one wanted to fight him. Okay, nobody. Not Keith Thurman. Okay, Crawford wasn't even there yet. Not Danny Garcia, not Sean Porter. None of these guys was calling his name. They was calling him the boogeyman and constantly saying how nobody wants to fight Errol Spence. People made many videos about this guy. No one wants to fight the boogeyman. Spence, Spence, Spence. Okay. It wasn't until he fought Kell Brook was when people started saying they saw holes in his game. So I don't even know why you even typed that in. Like, I mean, I don't know what the hell you meant by what point you're trying to make by saying that, because that's when it happened. And that's when Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, and different people, oh, ain't nobody scared to fight Kell Brook. Fight Errol Spence. But yes, it was after the Kell Brook fight. So you saying that was his first title defense? Like, okay, what you bring that up for? What reason? I mean, I don't even understand your whole comment. Like, why you made this comment? Okay, and in this video, what I'm saying, plain and simple, both of these guys, Crawford and Spence, they both know exactly what that feels like to want to fight and can't get it. Okay, and feel like they're ready for these fights. Listen, yeah, everything that Keith Thurman did to him, right? You started to see Errol Spence do the same exact thing. Duh. Is that not what I just said in this video? And you hear me saying you don't want to see these guys get to that point where when they get their foot in the door, they get in the position they want to get in, and then they start doing the same thing. Like, so I don't understand what the hell you're talking about. It's like you're saying the same shit I'm saying, but you, for whatever reason, are misunderstanding me. So I don't even know why you typed all of this stuff in, because it really makes no sense to me. It has nothing to do with what I'm saying. Okay. How can you, me saying, how can these guys go to 154 and feel comfortable knowing that they didn't fight Jaron Ennis or didn't fight, Virgil Ortiz? Don't mistake my words for Kenny Porter saying Jaron Boots Ennis is unbeatable and whatever. I don't think none of these fighters are unbeatable. Okay, at the end of the day, I still stand on what I said. Yeah, Jaron Boots Ennis is deserving of a shot with either one, Spence or Crawford. Let's not forget something, okay? Errol Spence, after that Kell Brook fight, when people thought that they found something to, that they could exploit in him, and then they decided, yeah, they'll fight him. Well, the Sean Porter fight wasn't as easy as he thought it would be. He smoked Danny Garcia, and this was after a car accident, and was out, broken eye socket or whatever. All that stuff happened, lost his teeth, had to get, surgery, all that stuff. He came back and made it look easy against Danny Garcia. He fought Sean Porter in the close one, got the knockdown in the fight and everything, so okay, cool. The first thing that people said is he was exposed, right? And right now, he holds 3 belts in the goddamn division. Terrence Crawford, we know his level, his skill level. And former unified division, on 140-pound division champion. At 147, he finally got in there with Sean Porter. Beat him. Like I thought he would beat him. And basically, he hasn't done much in this division, because even fighting Amir Khan and Kell Brook, they were past their primes, like way past. And he fought them after Errol Spence fought them. So he's starting to get more criticism now than he was initially, because then it went from Errol Spence being seen as the boogeyman to nobody wants to fight Terrence Crawford. So I don't know what point you're trying to make, but my thoughts are not unbalanced about anything. You just basically have an unbalanced way of listening and understanding, because I don't know what you're even talking about. I'm saying both of these guys, either one of them, need to fight Jaron Ennis. Now, you think Jaron Ennis was exposed. Look, this guy, Karen, was showing good footwork. He was moving well. Basically, Jaron Ennis, just like any other fighter, he's still learning, but he's still in a position where, hey, I'm ready. So why not give him that? Why not give him the opportunity? Okay, at the end of the day, Tank Davis, people said he was exposed when he didn't knock out Gamboa, who had a bad leg, right? And he couldn't, all this, oh, nah, man, imagine this. Imagine if it was this guy. Imagine if that was that guy. Now they're saying Tank Davis is what? the most exciting fighter at 135 and think that he'll beat all of these guys. Devin Haney fought Gamboa. Devin Haney, everybody was talking all this, look at how long it took for the fight to stop. Because Tank didn't do this, Tank didn't do that. Then they said the same thing about Devin Haney. He ain't got no power. Oh, he was exposed. He can't beat nobody. Every time Devin Haney beats a fighter, he's exposed. But yet, he's the unified champion at 135. And not only is he the unified champion, but when Teofimo Lopez beat Kambosos, because he beat Lomachenko, everybody was, oh yeah, Tio's that guy. And you want to know what? I'm the one who said, I think Tio will beat Lomachenko. He beat Lomachenko. Kambosos beat him. And then all of a sudden, all these people started thinking Kambosos was going to beat Haney. Haney beats him in his own backyard, agreed to all of his bullshit terms, and excuses was made. Oh, well, nah, you know what? Oh, the way he fought that night, anybody would have beat Kambosos. No, it had nothing to do with Devin Haney just being that good, right? Beat him again. So the same guy that everybody's saying pillow fisted, he can't knock anybody out. Everybody's knockout crazy. A win is a win, whether it's 10 rounds, 12 rounds, early knockout, late knockout, regardless. It's a win. He doesn't have to be a devastating puncher. It's about skills. That's what he has. And now he's the undisputed champion at 135, but yet he was exposed, right? He couldn't beat nobody, yet nobody's calling Devin Haney out. And the only people trying to call him out are guys who basically are crossing their fingers trying to make their mark because they have everything to gain and nothing to lose. But the Garcias and all these big names, they're not calling out Devin Haney. Point being, how many times have we heard fighters, oh, they've been exposed? So just like people said Errol Spence was exposed. Look at what happened. Look at what happened. Look at what he's done. And he's unified champ. Terrence Crawford. Some people was making videos about him getting dropped at 140 saying he was exposed. How was he exposed? He wound up being, undisputed champion at 140. So because Jaron Boots Enis went the distance with the guy, that basically, because you don't know the guy, you think he sucks, right? Well, tonight we also saw Demetrius Andre go the distance with a guy. Now he threw a body shot at Demetrius Andre. I don't remember if the ref called it a knockdown or not. I know I'm hearing people talking about the fight was fixed and all this nonsense. Demetrius Andre was hitting this guy with everything. Okay, Demetrius Andre dominated the fight. Okay, and pretty much people, oh, he was exposed. It's always the same thing. So basically, Canelo didn't look good or impressive to me against Triple G. Because Triple G is way past his prime, and Canelo went in there and couldn't get him out of there. So, yet, you forget about that and start saying, oh man, Canelo will knock Demetrius Andre out. Maybe so. But we don't need to talk about what will happen to come to a conclusion. Let's make the fight happen. Yeah, right. Canelo, the same guy that got beat by Basic Bivol, right? Bivol's not that guy. Bivol's too basic, right? And look at what he did. So because Demetrius Andre went the distance, he's exposed. Because Jaron Boots Ennis went the distance, he's exposed. Well, I say he's ready. Every fighter has that fight where they don't look their best. And you know what happens? Everybody starts writing them off and talking. Oh, imagine if this, imagine if that. Right, but then they get in the ring and they beat the guys that you thought they wouldn't beat. No different with anybody else. So me saying what I said earlier, I'm saying it again. Yeah, fight against Jaron Boots Ennis. Why not? Why not? If you really want to look at fighters being exposed, if you want to look at things in a way where you feel like a fighter is not as good as people are saying, this is what happens when they get in there with the elite guys. I mean, let's not forget, right? When they fight the elite guys, and then let's say they can't compete with them, like a Derek Chisora, he comes for war. He always come to fight, but he lose every goddamn time. And then when he lose, the next fight, somehow y'all think he's going to win. But he lose time after time after time after time, all the way up until he finally got in there and beat Pulev. He's not elite. We know all about Derek Chisora. Jaron Ennis is trying to make his mark. Keith Thurman, you know, he was chasing Zab Judah all over the place. Running up on his press conferences, calling them out. You know it's funny because to this day he'll have interviews and talk about how Floyd never fought him, but you notice he never brings Zab up, right? And that's the person he was trying to get his foot in the door with. Well, I remember people saying that Keith Thurman wasn't ready. Who this dude with the long hair, man? Man, he crazy. He don't want none of Zab Judah. Zab Super Judah. This and this and this and this. Well, Keith Thurman did make a name for himself. He did finally become champion. Okay, he did at least do that. Do I think he would have beat Floyd? Hell no. Just like I didn't think he beat Pacquiao. He might have beat Zab because Zab is iffy at times. So he might have beat Zab. But at the end of the day, this is what it's about. Making the fights happen. You guys see something just like the fighters. You think you see a weakness in the fighter. Oh, I don't think he's ready. Who cares what you think? That's not what it's about. We go in here and we make fights happen. How many times have you thought a guy was going to dominate a fight? And they go in there and then guess what? They get beat. As I've stated before. Whoever Errol Spence fights, I'm going with Spence. Even if he fights Jaron Boots Ennis. But I'm not a fan. I just like certain fighters better than others. That doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and be biased for them. And I think Jaron Boots Ennis deserved that fight. Plain and simple. I mean, we've seen Crawford get put on his ass at 140. You forget that? So was he exposed because he got knocked down? And that's what people was, oh yeah, he got knocked down twice at 140. And well, look, he wound up becoming undisputed champion. I mean, Tyson Fury fought Otto Wale and got cut, struggled, came back and won, but struggled to get who the hell is Otto Wale? And everybody was, oh man, that goes to prove that he cheated against Wilder. He struggled against this bum, and then all of a sudden he's able to knock Wilder out. Yeah, remember, Fury had loaded gloves. He had knuckle, just bare knuckle under unpadded glove. Everybody did this to Wilder. Everybody did that. Look at the position Fury's in right now. So every time you guys yell at somebody's exposed, you just use stupid phrases, overuse it because it just becomes a popular thing to say. Well, if Jaron Boots Ennis can beat Errol Spence or can beat Crawford, I would rather find out if he can or cannot by fighting them. Not by people telling us who can beat who. If he goes in there, he's actually mandatory for Errol Spence. I forget which belt, but he's a mandatory for Errol Spence. So guess what? If Errol Spence was to drop that belt and then move up, or just drop that belt, what would that look like? So I don't know, what this guy was talking about by making these comments, because I'm saying Crawford or Spence, they both need to fight this guy. Either one of them. I don't know. It's funny because this video is clearly about fairness. This video is not about who I like as a fighter. It doesn't make a difference. That's not what it is. It's about fairness. And so if you are ready to write Jaron Ennis off and you think that because he had a fight that went the distance, but everybody thought. Now, you see, the thing is, he knocked everybody else out. He goes the distance for the first time. And instead of you guys even understanding, this guy came to fight, this guy came in and he did better than people thought. No, he's a bum. Oh, I don't even know this guy. You know, and Jaron Boots Ennis was exposed. That's all good. You can say he was exposed, you can feel whatever. But at the end of the day, they need to make the fight happen. Because none of you guys, the same way, how you make excuses for Canelo versus Triple G, as I stated, who's well past his prime, and Canelo went in there and couldn't get him out of there. And they went the distance. You forget that? So you'll acknowledge that Andre went the distance with a guy. Not to mention, this is his first fight at 168. And he went in there and dominated. But because he didn't get the knockout, he was exposed. People already putting videos up saying Boots was exposed. Okay. Saying that Demetrius Andre was exposed. Do you know in the past when Demetrius Andre fought, you had many people saying, oh man, his style though, man, like he don't knock nobody out. He throw all them punches and they don't go down and all. But he wins. That's what it comes down to. Floyd didn't knock everybody out. Ray Leonard didn't knock everybody out. Ali didn't knock everybody out. Hell, you got many fighters. Tyson didn't knock everybody out. He was knocking everybody out in the beginning. When he finally went the distance, first person took him the distance was James Quick Tillis. Was Mike Tyson exposed because he went the distance for the first time? And, you know, it's just the way people think now. So, the same way, you know, that Jaron Ennis went the distance. The same way how people wanted to take credit away, you know, from Errol Spence because they were saying that, well, Triple G, you know, he broke his orbital bone. Well, he got back in the ring, and then Spence broke the other one. Isn't it funny how even Roy Jones was saying he can't give Spence credit for that because Kell Brook wasn't 100%. But then Terrence Crawford fought him some years later. What happened? Brook was refreshed. You know, Kell Brook went and got refreshed. He was a different fighter, a better fighter. All of a sudden, no. He got the worst version of him. I want to see Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. That fight is not happening. Not now, anyway. So guess what? If not, and let me say this, since you put this comment up, well, if Jaron Ennis isn't worthy, then and Virgil Ortiz is not worthy, well, who else? Who else would you like to see? Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford fight? If not one of them. Well, we know that, what's that guy named? Stanionis, however you say his name. Well, he was supposed to be fighting Virgil Ortiz. That's the guy that was rumored that was supposed to fight Errol Spence. Now, we know Errol Spence was in another car accident. Well, Virgil Ortiz had a situation with his, he had to get some type of emergency surgery. So, he's out of that fight. Just saying. So who else at 147 do you want to see these guys fight? They're not fighting each other. So who are they going to fight? A lesser opponent than Jaron Ennis? A lesser opponent than Virgil Ortiz? Because you name two other people that's as good as those two in the division right now. Kell Brook, you know, he's not fighting anytime soon. We know what his problem, what happened with him. So I don't even understand why this is even hard for people to even digest, because there's nobody else at 147 that you want to see these guys fight. I mean, do you want to see Terrence Crawford go fight Ugas? after he done got his ass kicked by Errol Spence already? Do you even care to see Keith Thurman? So I don't understand this comment. So I'm going to read this comment one more time because I don't understand. For you guys that saw the video, I don't understand. Your takes are a little unbalanced, my friend. Kell Brook fight was Spence's first title fight. Duh, but I don't know what the hell they have to do with anything. So after that, he got exposed. That's what people said. That's what the fighters were saying. They were all saying, oh, I've seen some holes in this game. I've seen some things that I definitely know if he do that against me, yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah, Danny Garcia was the first one running his mouth, and then Sean Porter. Okay? And what did Spence say? When asked if he would fight Crawford, we all know what the hell he said. He told him to go get a belt. He went and got a belt. Then he said, why not take the easy route and go fight Sean Porter? Yeah. You know how many times I've brought that to people's attention? And the thing about it is, I'm rolling with Spence, no matter who he fights. So that goes to show you I'm not being biased about nothing. So I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Go get a belt. Who has he fought? Wrong side of the street. Well, he didn't fight Crawford like he said he was. And you're not telling me something I don't know. I don't know what rock you've been under, but if you haven't been watching Aries, then obviously you don't know what the hell's going on this channel. And at the end of the day, he's still what? Unified champion. 3 belts to 1. So what is your point? Yeah, he fought wrong side of the street. He said, I will take the easier road. Yeah, we all know that already. Basically, everything Thurman did to him, yeah, we already know that already. We know all of this stuff already. Lastly, why hasn't anyone, I don't know what the hell you mean, why hasn't anyone sent a petition to fight Crawford? A petition? It's your choice of words, not mine. Crawford has a weak resume at 147. Why did Crawford pull out the fight with Spence to go fight Avanesian? Oh, because it was for $10 million. Then you see all these videos of people saying that the fighters haven't even been paid yet, blah, blah, blah. But then there's a video of Terrence Crawford saying he was paid half his money before the fight. And then he's going to get the other half the night of the fight, which is actually against the rules. Yeah. But that's what he said. This is not even about, we could sit here all night and nitpick about who did what and who said what. That's not even what this video was about. This is just basically, these guys are not fighting each other. They are champions. Champions have to fight better competition, okay, than the contenders. Okay, it's like going from a supervisor to an assistant manager, from assistant manager to manager. Your duties change. So you have to lead by example and your roles change. So you basically can't do what you used to. You have to do more. Your job changes. Okay? Now we know basically the higher ups basically they depend on the lower position to carry out their work and make them look good, but y'all know what I'm saying. Champions have to move different. That's why there's different levels of greatness and there's different levels to when you look at people and you say, like in this generation, you have fanboys out here saying that basketball players and basketball teams who have no rings are better than the Bulls, better than Michael Jordan, but they have nothing to show for it other than just a little, couple of, some highlight reels where they have a player that can dunk and do some fancy moves and all of a sudden now he's better than Jordan. Okay, good luck with that. But I don't understand why the hell you said any of this stuff. But anyways, listen. Boots Enis should get that shot. Don't worry about what happened tonight. Don't worry about what happened in that, because like I said, Errol Spence was in that same situation when he fought Kell Brook. Everybody thought they saw something they could exploit, and they all failed. So, and for the record, if Boots Enis does fight Errol Spence, I'm still rolling with Errol Spence. Does he win the fight? I don't know. I do know that Boots Ennis has skills, and you know, y'all always talk about how skills, fight, styles make fights. But when somebody come against someone that you think they should beat, that thought don't pop in your head. Styles make fights. No, he was exposed. He's a bum. He's overrated. Said the same things about Errol Spence, Tank Davis, Devin Haney. In fact, before Teofimo Lopez fought Lomachenko, most of the so-called experts were saying, "Oh, Teofimo's a good kid. He's a good fighter, but this is where it all stops. Lomachenko's just on a whole nother frequency. He's just a different guy. He's unreal. He's from another planet." And then he got beat. And you know what? If he does finally fight Devin Haney, after Devin Haney whooped Lomachenko's ass, you know what everybody's going to say? Oh, Lomachenko's old now. That's exactly what's going to come out their mouth. So, does it make a difference what people are saying? But this is the time we're in now. You guys think that whatever you're saying, that your opinions are facts. I'm not telling you who's going to win. That's not what I'm here for. I'm telling you these fights need to happen regardless to who you think is going to win. Just like, for example, Dillian White earned his shot with Tyson Fury. Why not? Tyson Fury's talking about he'd fight David Haye. He'd fight David Price. He think those fights would be massive sellouts in the UK. He's talking about fighting everybody other than Usyk. But yet he's the WBC World Heavyweight Champion. Huh? He whooped Dillian White's ass, but the fight still should have happened. You can't look at the outcome and say, see, he should have never fought Dillian. No. Joe Frazier is an all-time great. Do you agree? Well, he got knocked out in 2 rounds by George Foreman. Got stopped twice early by George Foreman. Roberto Duran is one of the all-time greats. Do you agree? He got knocked out in 2 rounds by Thomas Hearns. Thomas Hearns is one of the all-time greats. Do you agree? He got knocked out in 3 rounds by Marvin Hagler. So, trying to make the case that a fighter's not ready just because you say they're not ready. But then when they get their ass whipped, oh shit, well, he won't beat this guy's. No, take your emotions out of this. Stop getting drunk before you start typing this shit in, because this shit makes no sense and it doesn't apply to nothing I'm talking about in this video. You got a guy like Donald Curry fighting against Milton McCrory. Well, Donald Curry was more established. Milton McCrory was on the come up. They got in there and Milton McCrory pretty much got his ass whooped. But the fight still should have happened. Now, Marvis Frazier versus Larry Holmes should have never happened. The guy only had 10 fights. Okay? He only had 10 fights and proved nothing. Well, Joe Frazier said, well, they took the fight because when it comes to the heavyweight championship of the world, you never know you're going to get that chance again. Okay, so they gambled. They lost. Leon Spinks only had 7 fights when he fought Muhammad Ali, but Muhammad Ali was on the decline. And that really, honestly, that rematch when Ali got the belt back should have been Ali's last fight. But, due to financial losses and struggling, financially, and he he semi-retired, came back and fought Holmes because he needed money. Freddie Pacheco, it was on a documentary. I have it upstairs. He said that Ali failed his physical. That Ali was, all this shit, walked the straight line like Ali. Then they lied just to make the fight. And then afterwards, Ali fought Trevor Berbick. Fights that shouldn't have happened. But point is, do you think that Ali in his prime would have had trouble with Leon Spinks? See, Larry Holmes was still in his prime. Marvis Frazier, he just wasn't good enough, period. You understand what I'm saying? He just wasn't good enough. He wasn't a top prospect. He was somebody thrown in there. And they threw him to Mike Tyson as well. So the whole point with that, everybody don't have the same situation or the same outcome. So I'm not concerned with what happened tonight with Jaron Boots Ennis. That doesn't change my perspective on anything. And the thing is, he dominated. But because it went the distance, he was exposed. Well, whether he beats Crawford or not, whether he beats Spence or not, the fights should still happen. So I say, and I ask the question again, if those two are going to stay at 147 and fight, and they're not going to fight each other, who in the hell is more deserving other than Enis and Ortiz? Who? You can't give me no solid names. And the only name that has some credibility other than them two, because he's a former world champion, is Keith Thurman. What in the hell has Keith Thurman been doing all this time? Nothing. So I just wanted to address that and basically just, Jaron Boots Ennis is just like any other fighter. As long as you're lacing them boots up in boxing, you should still be learning. The problem with most fighters is it's hard for them to add to their arsenal. And that's why a lot of guys, most fighters can't fight longevity at a high level. They can't sustain a high level because they just get to a point where they have a style where when people start to study them, they know what they're going to do because they can't switch things up. And so as great as they may become, it's like they get to this level and they just stay there. They don't. And others can do this, but they stay here. Okay? So when they're both right here, it's a good fight, but then this guy keeps going, and he lasts longer than this guy. You understand? It's different. It's just different that way. Skill levels, all of that comes into play. And if you're going to overlook guys who are in the same situation as you, that you were once in, then, what is it now? If these guys are not trying to retire soon, if these guys really are planning on continuing fighting, and they're going to pretend that Jaron Boots Ennis, and here's the thing, if they're going to fight, like I already said, a lesser opponent than Boots Ennis or Virgil Ortiz, how do you justify that? How? Boots doesn't deserve it, but David Avanesian did. You think David Avanesian could beat Boots Ennis? Like, guys, it's simple. Okay, I don't know what the confusion was with this guy, but at the end of the day, nobody was even. This wasn't even about praising. I don't praise people anyway. I just give people their credit, but I'm gonna always be honest. I don't care how much I like you as a fighter, or a person. I'm going to tell you like it is. And this was about fairness to Boots, and the fact that Crawford and Errol Spence, both of them, they're not fighting each other. And how does a guy just pull out of a fight to go and fight some less unknown guy for 10 million or whatever the hell, and then all of a sudden now, just, was that fight ever going to happen? So, yeah, I don't know what you thought you was, like what you thought you were teaching me, but you playing yourself. Because everything that I said was directed to the fact that Jaron Boots Ennis is in that position where he's the next guy at 147. And at the end of the day, you act like he got knocked down, got beat up, and just barely won. He dominated the guy. Yeah, he looked a little lost. I could see he was having issues cutting the ring off a little, and just things I saw. But at the end of the day, man, he's still a work in progress. But guess what? He's still at a high level that you guys are overlooking. And the thing is, you don't want to see him in that spotlight. So you're looking to find things to complain about. How many times have we been saying Errol Spence need to tighten up on defense? And then Errol Spence himself even admitted that, I just got to tighten up on my defense a little, because he's so anxious to get the knockout. He gets hit with shots that he shouldn't get hit with. What I see Errol Spence, the advantage I see him having over Jaron in his overall is his physical size. Because, yeah, he, come fight night, will be way more than 147. So that's about that. And stylistically, he's a bruiser, he's a punisher. Jaron Boots Ennis is an athletic boxer. So how they match up, what they do in the ring, that's what it's going to come down to. And again, I'm rolling with Spence, but I'm saying he needs to fight this guy. And Terrence Crawford, no different. And if you're going to hold titles, but you're not fighting the best guys out there, what do they always say? We want the next best available guy. Well, who is it then? So let's just write off Jaron Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. And so who is it? No Conor Ben. So who's the next available person? Let's be real. 147 is not that deep. So I just wanted to speak on that, and I'll say salute to Jaron Boots Ennis. You went in there, you got the win. And, people going to hate. They're going to say dumb stuff out their mouth, trying to make a pointless point because they just don't want to see certain fighters get to a point where they're actually winning. All of these fighters. Evander Holyfield, I remember he got dropped by Burt Cooper. And everybody, oh, man, imagine if Tyson would have hit him. Man, he got dropped by Burt Cooper. Remember that? Huh? Remember when Evander Holyfield fought Bobby Chaz? And everybody was laughing at him. Man, this motherfucker couldn't even knock out a blown up cruiserweight. Man, Mike gonna kill this motherfucker. Isn't that what you heard? Like 99% of the opinions you heard was that Holyfield was gonna get mauled and destroyed by Mike Tyson. But what happened when they fought? Oh, the excuses, the lies. Mike Tyson did an interview a couple of weeks ago and was saying, well, Evander was headbutting me, but I was headbutting him too. Oh, he could admit his wrong now. And I told you guys, when Mike was on his show, Hot Boxing, Mike Tyson's Hot Boxing, he said right to his face, Mike was headbutting me. And he lying, telling people that I'm headbutting him. And Mike was laughing, hitting the table, cracking up, laughing. And not one time did he deny what Holyfield said. You understand? See, the whole point with people is you guys speak from that fanboy perspective. So you're not even speaking like with common sense. And that's why most of the time when people respond to something and their answers, their comments really have nothing to do with what the hell I'm saying. It's like, okay, usually I don't even respond to that, but I'm reading this like this person took the time to type all of this in and they're not making any goddamn sense. None. You telling me that my thoughts are a little unbalanced based on what? I mean, what the hell are you even talking about? Do you even know what this video was about? So, anyways, Jaron Boots Ennis, it doesn't matter. And let me say this again. It does not matter if you think he can or cannot beat Spence or Crawford. It doesn't matter. The point is, these are fights that need to happen. And if not, Jaron Ennis, if not Virgil Ortiz. Like I said, we know Conor Ben is not, So who in the hell is deserving? Who else? Who else? What you want? Do you want to see Errol Spence rematch Ugas? I mean, so who else? Do you hear Keith Thurman calling anybody's name out? So, anyway, talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all in the next video.